This is a soccer ball, and the sport is at its peak of its popularity in Canada right now. But that all wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for 1986. This is Canada in the 1986 World Cup. With the World Cup being held in Mexico, there was not only one CONCACAF Nations League spot. And yes, it was harder for the Canadians, but it was finally their time. You ready? Think fast. When Mexico automatically qualified, there was not only 9 teams left to qualify instead of 10. So they split it up into 3 groups of 3, and the top winner in each group had to go to another group in the second round to battle it out there. Canada, in their first group, has to play Guatemala and Haiti. Canada breezed past the group, getting 7 points and making it to the second round of qualifying, where they had to verse Honduras and Costa Rica. Fast forward to the last match day, Canada needs to beat Honduras to make it through to the World Cup. With the scores tied 1-1, Igor Farasblik did this.
Carl Valentine getting set to take the corner kick. Swings it in, near post, headed away, and it's in! It's in! Canada has got in front, 2-1!
Canada's already a winner, said Coach Tony Waiters, after the Canadian team had also some hardships, with most of their players being out of a club due to the suspension of the North American Soccer League, or more commonly known as the NACL. Canada's first game was against France, and the French had chance after chance after chance after chance, until they finally broke the deadlock when Jean-Pierre Papin scored in the 79th minute to win the game for the French. Now, even though Canada lost, Canadians all around the country thought if they could contain one of the best national teams in the world to only 1 goal, imagine what they could do to Hungary. There's hope in the air and the game kicks off. And all that hope is lost when Hungary's Martin Esterházy scores in the first 2 minutes and Hungary later scores in the 76th to win the game 2-0. The next game was against the USSR. And maybe if this was a hockey game, they probably would have won. But sadly, this sport is played with feet and not sticks. They lost 2-0 to the USSR, and they have cut their World Cup journey short. Even though Canada hadn't won a game, or even scored a single goal, this was still an achievement in most eyes. With the sport automatically growing in popularity, slowly gaining traction year by year. It wasn't until 14 years later where Canada got their second achievement, winning their second ever Gold Cup in 2000. After the NACL dissolved, the MLS was created in 1933. And right now, there are 3 Canadian teams in the competition: Toronto FC, Vancouver Whitecaps, and CF Montreal. Apart from the national team, Canadians started playing all around the world. Most notably, in the 2000s and late 2010s, Atiba Hutchinson, at the time, was Canada's greatest ever player. And yes, this is me with a photo with him. I mean, just look at us. We're basically best friends. And Canadian academies have gotten so much better, with the Vancouver Whitecaps producing Canada's probably best ever player, and he's still only 24. His name, Alphonso Davies, known for his speed and becoming the first ever person born in the 2000s to play in the MLS. And even other stars like Jonathan David, who was born in Brooklyn but raised in Canada, chose the land of the maple and is now Canada's all-time leading scorer. With this newfound golden generation, mixed with experience and young stars, Canada make it to their second ever World Cup in 2022 in Qatar. And they managed to do something that they couldn't do in 1986. Score a World Cup goal courtesy to Alphonso Davies. Granted, they did lose the game 4-1, but this is still a massive achievement in Canadian football and the biggest one to that date. Until the 2024 Copa America had Canada finished in the semifinals, losing to eventual winners Messi and Argentina, and there's no shame in that. And it will probably be the first and last time that Canada will make it farther in an international tournament than Brazil. And let's not forget about the women's side of football, with Canada's women's team getting gold medal in the 2020 Olympic Games and being ranked 6th in the FIFA World Rankings, and the Canadian men's being ranked 31st. Even now, Canada are about to host their own World Cup in 2026 with USA and Mexico, which does automatically qualify them for their 3rd ever World Cup. Even the small little things, with Canada having their own league in the nation going on since 2019 called the Canadian Premier League. And that just shows how much this sport has grown. Who knows what would have happened if Tony Waiters and his men did not even qualify for the World Cup in '86? How long would this love for the game spread in the country? Or would it even happen at all? But that's a story for another day.